Hoje os gringos reagem a dublagens em português de desenhos animados em inglês. Vamos ver o que os nossos gringos pensam da voz brasileira de Marge Simpson, Pernalonga, Fred Flintstone e o pessoal do Family Guy. We're going to play for you some cartoons you might recognize, but in Portuguese. Please evaluate the Portuguese version, the dubbed version, especially how well the actors do in imitating the original voices.
Oh, the Simpsons.
Oi, Simpsons.
This is my favorite show, like, ever.
It's a solid Marge. A little whinier. Marge always in America feels more defeated. Here she seems a little more like, look, this is the way I would do it.
I think Marge is spot on. I like it.
Sounds like a man. She sounds like an old lady. I feel like this is a whole different show.
Marge sounds like the grandmother.
How about Homer?
He sounds like Tony Soprano.
Wow, that was really good. All right, now I'm losing Homer a little bit. I don't know. He does the dough really well, but...
Lisa's almost the same.
The Lisa voice sounded correct. That sounded like her.
This really sounds like the same girl. I swear, maybe she just also speaks Portuguese.
It's just funny to hear him not say things in English. I feel like English makes someone sound dumb, but that's also because I don't understand other languages, so I just assume if you speak a different language, you're probably smarter than me.
Bart is clearly a teenager in Brazil.
Like, Bart sounds like he's like a 37-year-old chain smoker. Like, he does not sound like an 8-year-old boy.
Bart sounds like a full-grown man. He doesn't sound like a little kid.
Bart seems like a teen. I mean, in America, he's voiced by a woman.
Right.
Homer's reactions are the same, but there's a little more like gravitas to his voice. I don't know. He always seems the dumbest person on the planet here in America. Here, he just seems like the dumbest person in the family.
Marge, I'm giving a B+. Lisa, I'm giving an A+. Homer, a C. Bart, an F.
Wow, I mean, it puts a totally different spin on it, watching Marge's voice so different. The Brazilian Marge has a lot of enthusiasm.
And I believe her name in Portuguese is Margie.
Margie? Oh, I like that.
Os Flintstones em
Os Flintstones.
Oh, I haven't seen this in years.
Escritório.
The thing to me that's different is the announcers. They sound so different.
I think that's how Fred Flintstone sounds, so I'm going to say it's a pretty good one.
They did not get Fred's voice right on this.
Isn't his voice a little bit more like... I don't know, so he sounds a little bit smarter in this one.
I gotta be honest, speaking Portuguese, Wilma, way sexier.
I also think it's funny that are they eating a turkey, but yet only dinosaurs exist in the world? That's a side note.
Aw, I feel like the wife, her voice seems pretty similar.
Okay, the dinosaur sounds the same.
Yamba Damba Doo instead of Yabba Dabba Doo.
All right, that's not how I remember Yabba Dabba Doo sounding.
I agree. I'm glad you mentioned the Yabba Dabba Doo because I think that is a horrible Yabba Dabba Doo.
It's funny because the music and all the aesthetic elements feel the same.
The dinosaur, well, I don't know if that's what dinosaurs sound like, but I thought it was pretty good up until I heard Yabba Dabba Doo, and then something went in my head, and I was like, that's not right.
Weirdly enough, because of the way cartoons are done, they're not, especially back then, they're a lot more just this. So it's not as difficult to watch that as watching something dubbed over. But it makes it more like they're actually Portuguese here. They're actually Brazilian. I will say it's weirder to watch Wilma and Betty knowing that they own a thong bikini.
What? They own a thong bikini?
Well, they're clearly in Brazil here.
O show dos Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes.
Wow, so many childhood memories. I mean, obviously different because I wasn't speaking Portuguese.
Daffy feels much more like a Brazilian character.
He just got the kind of lisp thing sort of going so far.
He's got the lisp perfect.
Dólares. Geralmente sou eu que pago as coisas quando
I think that Bugs is pretty good.
a menina é demitido.
It feels like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are voiced by the same person.
I gotta say, I give it up for Daffy. That's really good. I love this Daffy. He's better than United States Daffy.
Fui demitido por...
No, not at all. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know, he reminds me of the guy from Breakfast at Tiffany's, her landlord.
You cannot go on or keep ringing my bell!
Oh, the Chinese?
Yeah.
The fake Chinese guy?
Yeah, the fake Chinese guy.
Really?
Yeah.
So you think he sounded like an American imitating a Chinese person?
Yeah. So crazy.
I don't know if they were spot on, but I will say this. They were cool.
Yeah.
I think they added a little flavor to it, a little of that Brazilian flavor, sprinkled it on top. I liked it better.
I'm going off of my childhood memories. I don't know. It seems pretty similar. I feel like Bugs Bunny's pretty similar. Bugs Bunny's voice is like, it seems almost a little bit higher pitched. But is it always that way?
Bugs Bunny in the U.S. seemed more sarcastic all the time. Something about the voice, the way the voice was done, made it really bitingly sarcastic. Here it just seemed like they're just two animals.
That sounds pretty similar.
A good family that lives in harmony, always happy, smiling, full of jokes. I like this.
Oh, they actually nailed it with the voices on this.
Oh, his voice is not the same.
Ai, que horror.
Lois, though, that is on. That's spot on.
The voice that they have for Peter is way sexier than the one that they have in the US.
Oh no, they didn't get Stewie's voice right.
The Stewie is pretty good.
Stewie's pretty on.
Stewie, actually, they get his sensibility a little bit. I like that, yeah.
Oh, Brian?
Okay, now I see it. Now I hear
É
it.
meu favorito. É sobre o avião que explodiu por causa...
No, never mind.
I feel like this somehow is darker than Family Guy, which is hard to do.
It's different because they don't have the accents. The Boston kind of accent, which makes them like who they are.
Yeah, I want to hear Brian talk, because their accents in the U.S. made them very distinct characters. And the dog here is speaking almost the exact same way as the kid. He talked like this. The kid talked like this. Yeah. And the dog talks like this. And then Peter talks like this. It's like they all had like different accents.
A Boston accent sounds like what to you?
A Boston accent is some version of an angry duck. Is sort of what it's like, Boston, you know, like, park your car, you know. But with him, it either sounds dumb or it sounds irrational. And so it's harder to get that across. I mean, clearly he does so many dumb and irrational things, so it's easier plot-wise, but yeah, the character's different.
Do you think people can appreciate like Simpsons and the Family Guy? They're such American shows.
I think there's certain things about them that are definitely American, but I think there's universalities to the comedy of just that people are idiots, and the more powerful a person is, that doesn't mean they're less of an idiot, it just means they probably wear better ties.
Even the things that are really American, it seems to me like people from other countries, not just Brazil, learn about America through these shows.
Yes.
And like I've heard people say, oh my God, look, we're in New York, it's a yellow school bus, just like The Simpsons.
Really? That's great.
I think The Simpsons can, because I think that they have a little political tinge to them, but I think The Simpsons maybe a little more than Family Guy. Family Guy will have 5-minute segments that's just, this is a stupid, irrelevant pop culture thing that no one knows, and they'll hammer it down.
Like, you have to know America, I think, to think those shows are funny, because it's so specific to our dumb things. So if anybody outside of the United States watches those and laughs at the jokes, they are very involved in the United States culture.
I think it's too American.
I think that what happens is that foreign cultures learn about the United States through these shows.
Oh